everyone, and welcome back to this week's video. If you're new here, my name is Kate Lewis and I'm a 21-year-old show jumper from North Yorkshire. So this is a video you guys have been asking for so long and I've been planning to make for ages as well. This is Harriet's next pregnancy update video. If you guys are new here, you may not know, but I have a lovely mare called Harriet who is 8 years old and she has been in foal to Conthargos for 9.5 months now, I think. So she's getting pretty near the end, but a lot has happened since I last spoke to you guys about Harriet. The last video I made of Harriet, I was actually at Horse of the Year show last October and I was able to reveal the gender of Harriet's foal on stage with all of you guys, well, some of you guys, and it was absolutely amazing. Harriet is, well, we're 97% sure Harriet is having a colt, so if it's a filly, I will be very shocked. This is a pregnancy update of what has happened in the meantime. I'm actually out in the field with Harriet. She may come and join us at some point. I think she's slowly making her way over here, but she's she's just grazing, getting a lot of food in her because she's pretty big at the moment. So after the gender reveal at Hoy's, things were quite quiet with her over the winter. I managed to get her out a fair bit through the winter, to be honest, because normally our horses are in quite a lot through the winter because the ground is awful. We are on clay. Whenever it rains, the ground is just horrific. And we've had a really wet winter this winter, but I've managed to preserve one of the fields we have like at the opposite side of our property, which is like on a hill. So I let that grow up all at like last autumn time. In the hope that that would last them all winter, and it did. I think there were only about 2 or 3 days where they couldn't go out in the winter, so that was really good. So Harriet managed to get out and have a good stretch every day, which I was really pleased about, because it would have been awful if she'd had to stay in, being in foal and being really uncomfortable. And not much happened really over the winter. I didn't have any more scans and stuff up until Christmas. She had her first vet visit of the year in February, which I do have some footage from somewhere, I think. I will try and find it. If I do, I will put it in now. But basically, the vet came to give Harriet her first equine herpes jab because there was a large outbreak, I think it was in February, of equine herpes. A certain strain of equine herpes is very dangerous to pregnant mares. It can cause them to miscarry, so it was very important to me that Harriet had the vaccination for it so that she was out of danger. So the vet came and gave her her first equine herpes jab. It was pretty eventful. I took a beating at the same time, as you will see from these clips. But I also had a scan for Harriet because I was just intrigued to see how everything was doing. I mean, it's our first foal as well, so I was just really interested to see how everything was developing, how it was all looking. And we couldn't see too much because the vet didn't have the abdominal scanner with her, so she used the rectal scanner on her abdomen. So we were able to see a little bit though, and we did get to see his spine, which was really interesting. I'm sure I do have a video of that somewhere as well, but we got to see his little spine all intact and beautiful. Today, Harriet's vet is coming out to give her the EVH jab, which basically covers... Why did I just do this? The EVH jab covers equine herpes. Although we're as careful as we possibly can be, we do have horses coming in and out of the yard, so we can't 100% guarantee Harriet's safety when it comes to another horse bringing something onto the yard. Obviously they're all vaccinated and covered for things like that, but yeah, Harriet is going to have the equine herpes jab today to protect her and the baby, because there are certain strains of equine herpes that can cause miscarriage in pregnant mares. And she's also having an abdominal scan. She does not need an abdominal scan, but because it's our first foal, we thought it would be really interesting to see how things are progressing and yeah, just see how it's going really. So that's what we've got in store for today. She's been out all morning. She's coming in now. She's in the winter field, so it's really muddy, but I'm hoping she'll come in strategically because there's a part that isn't very muddy, but they tend to come in through the muddy part every day. So the vet is coming in about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna get her in now with Madge and yeah, see if I can tidy her up a little bit. And then, yeah, then we'll have the scans. Okay, so I've got my Harold and my Moo, and I'm bringing them in now. Harry looks disgusting. She is so dirty. So I'm not sure how much I can spruce her up, ready for the vet to see her. Because I don't want to give her a bath, because I don't want like her to be wet, because I don't know how that'll work with the scanner and stuff. Amateur hour here, guys. I have no idea how to do it, so I think I'm just gonna give her a really good brush and hope for the best. As for her legs, they ain't looking so hot, so I don't know what we can do there, but we will see. I will try my best. Also guys, she's just been given fresh hay, so I'm pretty sure she's gonna pee now. Yeah, she's gonna pee. She does this every single time she gets fresh hay. Don't you? I won't film you peeing, but yeah, you're gonna pee. I won't film the pee, because I feel like that's mean. She deserves some privacy while she pees. You can hear the pee, but you cannot see the pee. Okay, so I've managed to find some brushes, so I'm gonna give little Harry a brush. Oh, Harry. So she's gonna have a little brush now. We're gonna try and tidy her up. I don't know what I can do with this, but we're gonna try our best, okay?
Oh, it's moving? So can you see that's the ribs or the spinal cord? Can you see them?
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
That's the spine.
Yeah.
Heck.
And unfortunately that's as much as we can see because...
Yeah. Okay, so the vet has just left. Everything is looking good on her scan. She had to use a rectal scanner, but like obviously not rectally, she just used it on the outside. But we did manage to see a little bit. We saw his spine. He has a nice spine, all intact. And yeah, he's looking good. Got a heartbeat and everything still, so that's lovely. Harriet was terrible to have her EVH jab. I thought she'd broken my wrist. Like, I just kind of... Because what she does, she's not like really nasty, she just kind of barges you against the wall, but not in like a... She's not trying to hurt you, she's just trying to stop you from doing what you're doing. And I tried to like get out of the way because she had like the needle in her, but she hadn't fully pushed it all in yet. So yeah, I was just trying to get out of her way, and I like got into the wrong place, and Harriet shoulder rammed my wrist into the wall, and I felt my wrist kind of go like back on itself. And like there was like a little crack, and I thought, oh crap, she's just broken my wrist. But she hasn't. She definitely hasn't broken my wrist. I'm pretty sure it would hurt more than it did. But my hand is kind of going a bit blue on the top, so I'm gonna run it under some cold water now. Typical Harry, just being Harry for her jabs. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a quick run under the cold water because it's like, yeah, there's a little lump on it. Hang on, I don't know whether you guys will be able to see. Yeah, so that's it from like this angle. You can just see there's kind of like a little lump forming on the top. And then from the top it's like, I don't know whether you can see that bit in the middle where it's kind of just going a bit darker. It's just a bit bluer. I don't know whether you can see that. You can see it better in person. You can't see it very well on the camera, but yeah. That was it for that visit, and then after that, things were just normal again. Harriet was going out every day, and this, that, and the other. And then along came Harriet's third and final trimester. Everything was normal, just normal routine, until one day, I had just nipped up to the house to get some stuff for Nero because we'd had like a delivery that had come, some of his, because he has sweet itch and stuff, so he had some like lotions and things that had arrived at the house, so I'd gone up to get those, and my mum shouted me. She just ran into the house and was like, oh my god, there's something wrong with Harriet. And I ran down, and apparently Harriet had like barged past her and thrown herself on the floor or something. Oh my goodness, the horses are coming. Hey Moo! Moo! Oh my god! Hi Harry! I told you she'd come in and stop by. How's it going? I'm talking about you! I'm Moo. Hi Moo. How's it going? What are you doing? Hey? Oh, she's seen the camera. We're being bombarded here. You're not gonna kill your mummy, are you? Harry! Oh, she's fogged the camera. Oh no! Is it defogging? I think it's defogged now. Harold, darling, I'm trying to film a video. You're in the shot a little bit, just a bit. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, that's Harriet's pregnant belly, by the way. Thumbnail. Harold, darling, I'm trying to film a video. I appreciate that you take the time to come and see me, but there we go, thank you. So Harriet had barged past Mum and then just thrown herself on the floor and just rolled continuously. So obviously the first thing that came into my head was like, oh my God, she's colicking, this is horrific. And in the lead up to this happening, I had been checking Harriet like every day, checking her udders and checking her under her tail area to see if any changes had happened, because I just naively didn't know like when these changes were going to happen, because I know mares, they fill up, which is called bagging up, before they foal and stuff. And I didn't know when that was supposed to happen, so I was kind of just looking every day and nothing was happening. So when I arrived at the stable, Harriet had stopped like freaking out and she seemed pretty calm. So I went in and gave her like a once over, just looked at her to see if there was anything outstandingly wrong. And I noticed that she had started bagging up, and an alarm bell just went off in my head, and I was like, this doesn't seem right. This isn't supposed to, I'm pretty sure this isn't supposed to be happening. And I double checked, and sure enough, I was right. Something definitely wasn't right. So immediately I was really upset and worried, and I called my vet, and I managed to get through to the emergency vet because this was on the evening. She had photos of Harriet's udders sent to her, and she said, look, it's concerning because this definitely shouldn't be happening, but it is very early and it could just be like something else, you know, pregnancy, it could be a pregnancy swelling, something like that. So let's not panic just yet, but check her all through the night, every 2 hours, check her. And if there's any development or if she seems unsettled, anything wrong, give her a call and she'll come straight out. So I think the last time I checked her was at about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'd been checking her every 2 hours up until then. So nothing had changed and she still seemed settled and fine. So I thought, I'll go to bed, I'll get up in the morning and go and see her. So got up in the morning and it was about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and went to check her, and her udders had filled even more. They were a lot fuller than they were the night before. So I called my vet and he said, yeah, there's definitely something worth looking at here. Even though the coronavirus and everything is happening and we're on lockdown, this needs seeing to. So he came out as an emergency visit. We were all social distancing, wearing masks and everything. He came out to check that she was okay. The main concern being placentitis. Placentitis is an infection of the womb, which can be really deadly in pregnancies. So that was what we were really concerned about, because it's known for happening in the final trimester, and yeah, it's a very, very serious thing to happen. And bagging up in general can sometimes be a symptom of the mare aborting the foal. The vet came and he gave her a rectal scan this time. Everything looked okay to him on the rectal scanner, but he took a couple of blood tests to be on the safe side. One of which was testing Harriet's infection levels, so that was an incredibly important test, and that was rushed off to the lab straight away. And the other one was testing the foal's estrogen levels, which should be sky high towards the end of the pregnancy. So there was also a concern that if those levels were low, there could be something else wrong with the foal. The infection test was rushed straight off, and we got that back the following morning, and that was all clear. So that cleared that she did not have placentitis, so we were thrilled with that news. But we were still really worried about the foal, because just because she didn't have placentitis didn't mean that there wasn't going to be something wrong with the foal. So many things can go wrong in pregnancies, and I was so worried that like the foal wasn't going to make it and she was still aborting, but just for a different reason. So we were keeping a close eye on her, but the estrogen level tests, they took a week to come back. My vet had already told me there's very, very little that they can do. With placentitis, if you catch it early, there's a 60% chance that with treatment and antibiotics and stuff, that the foal will survive and come to term. But this wasn't placentitis, and as I said earlier, a lot of things can go wrong. So the vet was also concerned that if there was something wrong with the foal, there really wouldn't be anything that they could do. Nature would just take its course. But we got the foal's estrogen levels back the following Tuesday, and they were sky high. So he was fine, and they ruled the bagging up of her udders to like pregnancy swelling. The foal had been kicking a lot during the previous few days, so the vet thinks that maybe his legs were down in that area, and he just like kicked a lot and sort of made the area swell, basically, like how pregnant women get swollen feet and stuff. It was just like swelling in her udders rather than it actually bagging up and filling with milk. So that was a massive weight off. Then she had her second equine herpes jab, and yeah, she seems a lot happier now. I started her on a stud balancer as well, which basically helps provide loads of nutrients to the foal in the final trimester and to Harriet as well, because this is the main sort of period of growth. And I was reading something the other day that I will read to you guys now. I found on the internet, which was like a pregnancy thing of like how big your foal is at certain times and stuff. So I will read that to you guys now. So Harriet is in the 10th month of her pregnancy, and this is what it says about the foal. So basically, I don't know whether you guys can see that, probably not. For growth, it says the foal is between 70 and 132 centimeters long, which is insane. That is massive. And he weighs between 25 and 45 kilograms, and he is roughly the size of a newborn Jersey calf. I mean, I've never met a newborn Jersey calf, but they look huge, so he's a big boy. For notes, it says, your growing foal is depositing lots of minerals into their body tissues, which is one reason why it's important to give your mare the right nutrition throughout pregnancy, which I'm doing, so 1 point to Kate. So yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind roller coaster ride over the last nearly year. It's nearly been a year, that's insane. So Harriet is due in 7.5 weeks, but she is huge. She is absolutely enormous, like literally enormous. So I don't know if she's gonna hold out that long. She is at 281 days while I'm filming this today, and in about a week and a half, Harriet is leaving. And I'm incredibly, like, it's a weird world at the moment. So Harriet is going to stud to foal because I've never had a foal before. I've never had a pregnant mare before, so I know a fair amount about, like, I've been reading all about it, watching videos, like talking to people, talking to vets and things, but I feel like I haven't experienced it, so I'm not experienced enough to deal with her safely at home during the birth. Like, I couldn't live with myself if something went wrong and I didn't notice it in time, and then the vet didn't make it in time and it ended badly. Like, I could not live with that. So I would much rather she go back to stud and be in really safe, capable hands. The people that are at the stud, I mean, there's incredible staff there, but the owners of the stud are the loveliest people, and they have so much experience. They've been doing this for like 60 years, a long time. But the problem with it is, because of the coronavirus, once Harriet goes to stud, it's unlikely that I'm gonna get to see her. It makes me really nervous that she's going and I'm not gonna see her until the foal is born, because like I see her every day and I've watched her through this whole process. I'm really gonna miss her because she's my baby. I know she doesn't always show love like a lot of other animals, but she's my baby. And she's carrying her baby. I'm gonna miss them so much. So that is it for this week's video, you guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment down below leave a comment down below of what you think the foal is going to look like. We've been having this conversation a lot recently. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be a bay, because like all the Conthagos foals are bays, and Harriet is also bay, and there's a lot of bays on Harriet's side as well, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a bay. But what markings do you think he's going to have? Do you think he'll have any markings? And if so, what do you think he will have? This is your chance to guess. See if you're a fortune teller. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.